They played Pitt in 2013, BC in 2005, and Miami in 04. Mustangs will watch the kick sail over the head of Brashard Smith, and the Mustangs are going to start from the 25. And Tom, here comes Kevin Jennings, fresh off that start last Saturday night for the Iron Skillet.
Well, when Kevin Jennings comes on the field, this offense just plays better. He provides a spark. I think he impacts the people that are around him in a positive manner, and he can do this stuff. He creates that extra dimension of always being a threat with his legs while being a very competitive passer, both within the pocket and on the move. He is going to be a handful for what is a vaunted defensive front for Florida State. Let's see who's most physical up front tonight.
Kevin Jennings under center. The running back is Roderick Daniels, and here is the sweep, and that is Brashard Smith turning the corner, and he'll have almost 10 before he is angled out of bounds. Florida State closed it down. Kevin Knowles, the safety, was over there. So was Blake Nicholson.
Well, Brashard Smith, 127 yards last week in their big win versus TCU, and look how quickly SMU is getting up to the football.
Second down, and the handoff is for Smith, and he'll break the 35, and that'll get SMU a first down on their second snap. Conrad Hussey down from the safety spot. SMU comes into the ball game, Tom, almost 410 a game, 206, very balanced. 206 rushing, 203 passing through their first four.
Yes, no question. They've gotten off to a hot start, and they've been physical up front. That's been the key for this SMU offense.
And Jennings looks back to his head coach, Rhett Lashley, of course, who calls the offense here for SMU. And the handoff in traffic. And they push the stack forward. This is Brashard Smith, who started his college career at Miami. Comes into the ball game, fourth best rusher in the Atlantic Coast Conference at about 95 yards a game.
Yeah, Brashard Smith, Rhett Lashley, the head coach, very familiar with him, having recruited him at the University of Miami.
And there, of course, is the 41-year-old native of Springdale, Arkansas. Rhett Lashley now in season 3 here in Dallas. That's RJ Maryland through the formation. They're going to hand it this time, and Daniels got hit right shy of the 39. I think they're going to mark it just in front of the 39-yard line. And that'll bring us to the first third down of the night for the Mustangs, who are 6th in the ACC at 44.5%. Florida State, Tom, is allowing almost 46% on third down. The Cal was 5 of 15 last Saturday.
Yeah, 115th in the country on third down defensively for Florida State. Improved last week, but got to get off the field more often. Jennings
on a soft boot. Here's Daniels turning the corner. First down and more across midfield into Florida State territory before Nicholson, the linebacker, makes the play on Roderick Daniels Jr. It's a 14-yard throw and catch.
I love this third down call. You take Roderick Daniels, you got to put him in the backfield as well. They leak him out into the flat, move the pocket with Jennings. Nice creative play to get the first down.
Jennings wants to throw, going to sail it down the field, and trying to make the comeback catch is Moochie Dixon. It's incomplete, no flag on the play.
That's really surprising.
Azarie Thomas, the corner, was in coverage.
I'm a little surprised that the flag didn't come out on this one. Thomas right there. Not only is there contact prior to the ball arriving, but there's no attempt to turn back and locate the football. Right in front of the side judge. That's very surprising.
So it'll make second in the full 10, the 47. Brashard Smith is in the formation on the far side. So 2 to the boundary, 3 to the field here for SMU. That's Smith in motion. There's a quick throw, looking for blockers is Smith on the catch. Nice help by Bailey at the edge, and that'll take him up near the 46 of Florida State.
Really impressive right there by these wide receivers down here at the bottom. They do such a good job of blocking on the perimeter, setting this thing up, and allowing Smith to gain the necessary yardage.
Second down, 9. Here's the give inside. That is Smith. And it's going to be about 3rd and 5, I think, Tom, for the first down here.
3rd and 5, 3rd somewhat manageable, because I think you're in 2-down territory here if you're Rhett Lashley. You don't have to get it all back right here. So you have run-pass options in your back pocket for quarterback Kevin Jennings, with the intention of taking a 4th down shot if you don't convert.
Florida State, you got to account for the quarterback, right?
Absolutely, on every snap. Nobody in the middle of the field either.
Flags thrown, and let's see what we have here. Procedure call against the Mustangs.
Offense number 51, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That'll be Justin Osborne, who lines up at right tackle in his 46th start. Started his college career originally at Auburn. Everybody in Rhett Lashley's offensive line tonight starting the ball game is a transfer.
Yep. And they're all proven transfers that have played a lot of football. That were highly touted prospects coming out of high school. Austin Osborne, uncharacteristic of him there. He's the best player on the edge at his tackle spot for SMU.
So 3rd and the full 10 for the Mustangs. Jennings. Knowles bring 4. Jennings bails to the far side. Going to shoot it downfield. That's Bailey. And Bailey converts the 3rd and 10 to Florida State's 21. Thomas makes the tackle.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, Wes. This is the dynamic plays that this guy can make when things aren't perfect. Some up-tempo right here, but what a fantastic throw on the move.
1st and 10. They're going to hand the ball to Daniels. He'll pick up almost 6, maybe a yard more on the 1st down run. Rhett Lashley couldn't wait to talk about Roderick Daniels and all the things he can do, Tom.
Yeah, look at Jennings right here. Doesn't like what he sees, so he works the pocket a little bit, keeps both hands on the football, able to throw a strike.
Daniels on
down
2nd down and Daniels gets 4 maybe. So 3rd down and a couple here.
Well, and
11th play coming up.
What that tempo does is when they converted there on that 3rd and 10, now you've got Florida State in nickel defense because it was a 3rd and long, and so you line up and you run the football real quickly, hoping to have a personnel advantage.
Smith in the backfield. Here's Jennings now as SMU slows the tempo a little bit. That's Eby, the tight end, in motion. They're going to hand to Smith. He'll run right, and he scores on their first possession. A 13-yard touchdown run for Brashard Smith, and SMU on the board first.
Boy, Brashard Smith looks like a human blur, led by 71 Logan Parr up in front. Look at the patience and the quick feet in the hole. Well executed, but it's the patience from Smith right there to allow the block to set up and sneak back inside. Use his feet to do the rest.
7th rushing score of the year for Smith. Point after is good, and SMU's on the board first in their very first ACC game.
Crowd loving it here in the Metroplex. Mustangs off to a hot start in Dallas. Still pictures can't show, and even if you didn't have the still pictures, Wes, it's hard to show accountability and fix misses without those moving pictures. It's a great add to college football.
Meanwhile, Florida State will touch a knee on the kick. Deuce Spann, and the Noles are going to start from their 25-yard line, and here comes the 5th-year senior from Inland Empire, California, DJ Uiagalelei, in his 53rd college game. He is 31-13 as a starter, Tom, but 9-7 since leaving Clemson. And you see the career numbers: 59%, 176 yards a game, about 7 yards an attempt for Uiagalelei. And Florida State's offensive numbers, quite frankly, aren't very good. You see where they fall now, down 7-0 after SMU scored on the opening drive. In motion. That is Benson. Uiagalelei tried for a screen to Toafili. And right there to sort it out, Jafari Harvey, the Miami transfer.
I'm a little bit surprised at that opening call. When you haven't established a pass rush yet, you haven't established a passing game yet, and SMU is not necessarily going to have their ears pinned back.
Toafili with Uiagalelei in the gun. They're going to hand to Toafili to the left side. And he'll push the stack maybe for 2 to the 27. It'll be 3rd down and 8. There is a little bit of upheaval in the Florida State offensive line tonight. Announced before the game, Richie Leonard not playing. He had been banged up a little bit, not going tonight. So instead, TJ Ferguson getting the call tonight at left guard for Mike Norvell's team. So now 3rd and 8 for Florida State, who's hitting just shy of 31%. They were 7 of 17, though, last Saturday night in the win against California. Uiagalelei under duress, throws, and it is caught. Flag thrown, and what a bullet to Hakeem Williams. Jalen Davis Robinson there on the stop. Out at the 38-yard line. This is a rope.
And I can see where the defensive pass interference comes into play here. But this was a frozen rope to the sideline to a stationary target that had a defender glued all over it.
Pass interference. Defense at number 13. Penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Adam Savoie, the referee tonight from the Atlantic Coast Conference, of course.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. SMU's not kidding around in terms of their pressure package. They only brought 8.
Wow.
Look at that throw. Good concentration by Hakeem Williams. Big 3rd down conversion.
Harvey made the hit on Uiagalelei. Fresh set of downs, and here's Toafili again. And Lawrence to the 41-yard line. Toafili comes into the game, Tom. 30 carries, 147, averaging almost 5 a carry with 2 touchdowns. And this, to me, feels like a guy, he and Malik Benson, feels like those are the 2 guys, along maybe with more like the tight end, that can push them forward offensively.
Yeah, and I would agree. And you don't have Roydell Williams tonight. You got the freshman Cam Davis. Toafili's definitely the bell cow.
Here's Uiagalelei, quick shot, middle of the field, catch is made. Ja'Kai Douglas, open field, 20. Douglas trying to break free, and he'll be taken down at the SMU 10. A couple of nice throws. The first one on the catch by Williams, and this one in traffic to Ja'Kai Douglas, Tom.
Yeah, Ja'Kai Douglas coming right off of the RPO action. You see the token fake in the backfield. We'll take a look at it just in a second. His FSU's got some tempo.
Florida State into the red zone. It's 1st and goal, right around the 10-yard line of the Mustangs. Uiagalelei and the Noles have scored only 15 first-quarter points this year in their first 4 games, but trying to match the Mustangs here on their opening drive. Toafili the carry. And the rally point, Cale Sanders Jr., the nickel, and Anthony Booker Jr. and the defensive line make the stop.
Take a look at this little token fake to Toafili, and bam, the ball's out of his hand. That's what I love to see with DJ Uiagalelei. I want decisiveness. I want him being confident, not second-guessing the throw or holding onto the ball or patting the ball in the pocket. That's the type of rhythm he needs to have tonight, and Kai Douglas does the rest. Yep,
50-yard play it was to Douglas. Toafili got a yard on the run, and now Cam Davis, 225-pound freshman from Albany, Georgia, is into the game. He's sidecar right of DJU. And a quick throw, end zone, caught, touchdown Florida State. Portier. And the Noles match SMU. Kentron Portier, his 6th catch of the year, is his 2nd touchdown.
How about 3 for 3 for DJ Uiagalelei? Clearly Florida State anticipating SMU's commitment to stop the run. What do? Token, RPO, run pass option. Boom, Portier does the rest. Really good throw by DJ Uiagalelei. The accuracy is what you want to see.
3 for 3 on the drive, as you mentioned, or 3 for 4 on the drive for 7 yards. Remember, he missed the first pass, hit his next 3 in a row. The point after is good. 7 plays, 75 yards in 3:06. At least early on, we're swapping haymakers.
We are, man.
Mustangs got a run from Smith on a score, and now DJU to Portier ties it at 7. Well, the schedule got reworked for sure.
Sometimes you got to adjust on the fly.
And Dana, I would say this, Florida State handled that scenario about as well as anybody could, I thought.
Making the best out of a less than ideal situation, Wes, and what better way to work through some of the adversity for Florida State than spend more time with your teammates, talking to the players pregame. They said it's like a brotherhood, and that extra time allowed them to really work through, develop that trust, and come out here and get a hot start.
I'll tell you, too, the thing that it reminded me of is it gave this coaching staff an opportunity to say, when we were away from home and we had to go to Ireland, what did we not do right?
Yeah.
You have a few extra days on the road and a chance to maybe do something a little different with the schedule.
Jennings on first down, a play fake and a throw that is batted away. Lolo Hea, Sione, transfer from Oregon State, who is from Tonga. Got a hand up. There he is at 6'3", 265, fifth-year senior.
He is a handful. Nice job here. Coming off the block of Justin Osborne, getting his big paw up there. But he is a load to handle one-on-one. Stout, strong at the point of attack. Dana's going to have some stuff on him later on.
Yeah.
Just a pleasure of a kid.
Casey Woods, the offensive coordinator for the Mustangs, told us yesterday, said of our 5, Osborne might be the most talented one. Here's Brashard Smith trying to pick up the yards on second down, and he will get to the 27, so that'll leave 3rd and 3. Shaheem Brown making his 20th start tonight for Florida State, the tackle.
3rd and 3, 3 or less is exactly where you want to be. You're on schedule. And remember, the SMU's whole mindset of a successful series has to end in either 7 plays or 7 points. Because now you've got the clock playing to your favor. That's their whole thought process every time they take the field on offense.
By the way, another 5 wide look here, Tom. 3 to the field, 2 to the bottom of your screen on the boundary side. Here's Jennings shooting it to Daniels. That'll be enough for the first down. Right there in front of Thomas, the corner. And Kevin Jennings settling right in here.
Yep. Nice little pitch and catch. And the thing I love about having Roger Daniels, replacing Jalen Knighton, who's injured tonight at running back, is Daniels is a wide receiver by trade, so he doesn't ever have to come off the field, and they can line him up all over the field.
Here's Jennings now on first down. Knowles coming with pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Nicholson, the linebacker, is the one that got him to the ground, but Farmer was also in the mix. Big number 5 there at 318 pounds out of Port St. Joe, Florida.
Well, one thing you can't do is allow number 5 to come up through the A gap between the guard and the center unblocked, and they just whiff up front right there. 51, that's Justin Osborne again.
Yep.
Struggling against the big fella, and Josh Farmer is just returning from an injured hand where he had a cast on it. So now he's playing with 2 hands. It could be at full strength, but he's a handful in his own right. Inside, these SMU coaches, you can talk all you want about Patrick Payton, number 11, number 7, Marvin Jones Jr., but if you don't handle number 5, you're in trouble.
Here's Jennings in trouble again. The Knowles trying to get there, and they do. Back to the 25. Grady Kelly in there to pick up the sack. Transfer from Colorado State. Takes Jennings down.
Nice burst off the edge. You see the bend that's created by Marvin Jones Jr., number 7. And that's where it all works as a unit, right? You get the first step, you force the quarterback off platform into another player's clutches.
Farmer comes back in. Tom, he lines up almost like a well wide to the left. They're going to run it with Daniels here. He'll leak out here to the near side. Turns the corner and is going to be shy of the first down by about 3 yards. Banged out by Thomas. So SMU will have to punt for the first time tonight. That'll bring the Aussie Isaac Pearson onto the field. But Florida State's defense starting to stand up here in possession too.
A little bit. This is a nice run. It's actually well executed. It's just the line to gain too far, but you buy yourself some field position with a long run like that. Hopefully put your defense on a long field after this punt.
Well, Wayne McCoy deep to return the punt of Isaac Pearson. He's averaging 41 yards a punt, a net of just under 35, and McCoy will signal and make the fair catch. And Florida State's second possession in a 7-all game will start just outside its 20-yard line. Locked up at 7, opening quarter in Dallas.
DJ Uiagalelei off to a fast start offensively for Florida State. That has not been the case with this football team throughout the first 4 weeks. But he was on point, accurate, showing decisiveness, rhythm within the offense. Clearly SMU's committing to stop the run, and Mike Norvell's dialing up the RPO game, and DJ Uiagalelei is delivering without question. He's been on the point, and this is where Coach has talked about consistency of performance. It's what you got to have.
First down, this is Toafili, and he will break for 9. Almost got 7.5. Let's go downstairs to David.
Luke's building off of your point. It was interesting, my conversation with DJ Uiagalelei this week, one that you would only have with a veteran type player, but he said the coaches were really honest and transparent of the areas that I needed to get better, but our offense never pointed the finger, and that sort of has allowed him to play a little bit more free.
And we're going to get a flag here on second down. And about 3.5, and it's going to be a procedure call.
Offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty at second down.
And it's Darius Washington, the left tackle, making his 41st start tonight. Florida State has 3 guys who have better than 40 career starts on their roster. Jeremiah Byers, 45 starts. Maurice Smith at center tonight, he's 46. And then Washington at 41. And an unforced error like that, Tom, you may take one, but you don't want it from a guy with 40 starts.
No, they're all collecting AARP across the board.
Pistol set, Cam Davis in the barrel with Uiagalelei. Here's the young freshman. And he will break the 25. It'll still be third down and the difference. Jonathan Jefferson, who came over from Georgia, played 7 games in 3 years for Kirby Smart, makes the play.
Big third down for this SMU defense.
Yep.
They cannot allow this big Florida State offensive line to continue to lean on them in the run game.
Toafili in the backfield with Uiagalelei. See more like the tight end, kind of a wing back to the right side, bottom of your screen. And the snap rolls on the ground. Uiagalelei's got to chase it, falls on it at the 16, and the drive's going to end on 3 snaps.
That's not on DJ Uiagalelei. Number 53, Maurice Smith, the center. You're going to see an errant snap. It's going to be low off to the left, about the mid-calf of DJ Uiagalelei. Not the type of return series you'd like to have if you're Florida State after you forced a punt on defense, and now you've backed up and allowed for a potential return here from SMU.
Loneliest cat on the planet back there, aren't you? When the quarterback sees that coming.
You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding.
It's good to know you still got a little. You still
I
got some
feel it.
memories. You got some cobwebs of those, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Here's Mastromano, one of the nation's best punters, just barely got it away. There's a flag down. And SMU's Daniel's going to let it hit and roll, and Florida State's going to take all this. The marker now is back inside the 10. It's a 67-yard punt, which would be the best of the year for Alex Mastromano.
It's going to be a hold on Florida State with the up back. He ends up holding number 12, Jake Bailey.
Yep.
Rushing the punt. He should force another punt considering the length of that kick right there for Florida State. That's the best punt.
Yeah. It's his best of the year.
Yeah, no question. And his best is really good. So
prior to the kick, holding, kicking team number 93. Penalty is half the distance to the goal from the previous spot. Replay 4th down.
Let me tell you, by the way, that wipes off a career best from Mastromano. His career best, he's had 65 yards twice, including Labor Day night against Boston College.
See right there to the right of your screen. Ooh. He just fish hooks 93. Jake Bailey, you can see it right there. That's a good call right in front of the official. And again, field position. That's why Mike Norvell is so upset on the sideline, because now you're going to expect another boomer out of your punter, who's one of the best in the country, but look at where the return man is standing for SMU at midfield.
And the return man is Roderick Daniels, who's second in the ACC in punt return average and 9th nationally, just under 19 yards. Mastromano gets this away, hangs it high. Daniels wants to play at the 45. Little shake and goes forward to the midfield line, and that's where the Mustangs are going to start their second or their third possession of this first quarter here with under a minute to go. Quick reminder to you, triple header of ACC Network football awaits you at high noon next Saturday. How about Boston College, huh? Biggest comeback in the fourth quarter in almost 30 years. Today against Western Kentucky, they'll be in Charlottesville to see Virginia. Virginia Tech goes to Stanford, one of 2 games out in the West Coast next week. And then we will be in Midtown Atlanta for undefeated Duke and Georgia Tech off a bye week next Saturday night in prime time at 8 o'clock.
Duke Down 17-0, coming back to win.
Here's Jennings on the roll, throwing from Maryland, and it got broken up on the play by KJ Kirkland.
Just going back to how critical of a penalty that was on Florida State, that was a difference in almost 35 yards in field position from the previous punt to the second punt because of the penalty. So now SMU starting at midfield, and that stuff starts accumulating as hidden yardage. It makes a difference the longer the game goes on.
That was the first throw to the neighborhood of RJ Maryland tonight, the outstanding tight end for SMU.
They got to get him the ball tonight.
And the give in traffic here, and Smith gets a couple to the 48. It's going to be 3rd and long. Marvin Jones Jr., son of the shade tree, makes the stop. Started his career in Athens for Kirby Smart. Has come over now to Tallahassee, playing in his 30th game tonight. He's had 7 total tackles in their last 2 ball games, and Tom told you he was a factor last Saturday night in shutting down Cal.
He was a handful off the edge. They just completely collapsed Cal up front, harassed him throughout the night. 7 total sacks, but it was the pressures as much as it was the actual negative yardage plays and sacks.
So here is Jennings now on 3rd and 8. They're going to let the clock wind out. They do.
That's the end of the first quarter.
First quarter in the books of the very first ACC football game tonight in the Metroplex. Big D is bigger pick. 3rd and long. Here's Jennings from the pocket to open the second, and it's a bullet. Caught at the 42 and pushed back Thomas. And the catch is made in traffic. And it looked like Jordan Hudson's first catch of the night. Keyshawn Smith. 9, not 8.
See RJ Maryland running through the sideline, and if you got to make that tackle through Florida State, because if you don't, that thing's out the gate. And again, we're in that area of the field where Rhett Lashley's going to think about this. No, he's going to bring the punter on.
Azarie Thomas has been awfully busy here in the first quarter, hasn't he?
Yeah, they've targeted him, but to be honest with you, I think they missed the pass interference penalty in the first quarter, but when they've targeted him, he's been on the money when it comes to tackling in the open field.
So here is Pearson to punt it away. He's a transfer from Texas, by the way. McCoy stands at the 7. And an end-over-end punt here. McCoy's going to let it hit, and SMU makes the save. But it broke the plane, so therefore it'll be spotted at the 20. And so Pearson thought he had one. Instead, the Mustangs let that get away into the end zone down to our right, so it'll be at the 20 for Florida State, still tied at 7. Another check on this, and right down the line here, pretty close. Yep. Oh, wait a second. That was Keyshawn Smith. So a quick reminder to you that we got ACC volleyball for you tomorrow afternoon. Number 1 Pittsburgh, number 13 Georgia Tech at 1:30. And then a week from Sunday, the Jackets and Cards, Danny Busboom Kelly's Cardinal team, 5th in the country. It's a week from Sunday. So after the punt by SMU, Florida State off its 20. Play fake, Uiagalelei, and on the slant, the catch is made by Jalen Brown. The redshirt freshman transfer from LSU, and had 2 or more catches in 3 of their first 4 games, and he took a strike on the slant there for 22.
Tell you what, there's one play Florida State sure can execute tonight, and that is the glance route off the RPO.
Out to the 41. Uiagalelei and the Noles, a minute and a half into quarter 2 here.
He's been throwing darts so far, Wes.
Yeah, sure has. He's 4 for 5 for 91 yards, and here goes the rookie Davis trying to find some room, and pretty good form tackle out of the secondary. Wachovia, the safety, who's from Skyline High School here in Dallas, makes the play on freshman Cam Davis, who doesn't look like he's a freshman.
Again, look at Cam Davis is not a freshman. We'll get into him later, physically at least not. But look at Jalen Brown there on that slant route off the RPO. This is the most consistently accurate I have seen DJ Uiagalelei in a while.
Uiagalelei keeps it going to the right side. He'll sling it on the perimeter. Portier near another Florida State first down. They'll spot him to the 49 in FSU territory. Crossley, who had the big play last week, makes the tackle. So now it's 3rd and 2, and Florida State's already lined up and ready to go here. 2 tight ends, Lukes, 3 receivers, no backs.
And SMU on defense, crowding the line of scrimmage. A little simulated pressure. DJ at the line of scrimmage wants to make sure he's protected up, depending on how many SMU decides to bring.
Play clock winding down on Uiagalelei. To his left, throw back, and intercepted. Jonathan McGill. The 7th interception already of the year by SMU and their 12th turnover, Tom.
Gotta love it.
The party's underway. Club takeaway in Dallas.
Muster the strength to get that ball and bend over the receiver to the sideline away from the defender.
One of the captains, of course, playing in his 50th game tonight. He's from the Dallas area, started his career at Stanford. And now let's see what Jennings and the Mustangs can do with it. Here's Smith trying to break away from tackles, and tell you what, that didn't look like it had very much in it. He got 3, maybe 4 out of it, Tom.
Great contact balance right there for Brashard Smith.
And a Seminole slow to his feet is
for an injury to a
Byron
defensive
Turner
player.
Jr., the defensive end.
We're going to try and cover the deep corner route, and he's going to roll here. When you're going to watch DJ, he's going to end up being so far off balance that he doesn't get enough power under the throw and allows McGill to get his eyes back to the quarterback and slip right underneath. Well executed, terrific inside technique in playing on the football by McGill right there. Good look. Securing the ball in the act of the catch, and SMU a fresh set of downs.
Scott Simons, the defensive coordinator, will be thrilled with the way that worked out.
No doubt.
Turner, by the way, being tended to. The athletic training folks have come out to look at this redshirt junior who had 2 tackles and 2 hurries last Saturday. Florida State, you cannot say enough about the physicality they brought to the show last Saturday night at Doak Campbell against Cal.
Yeah, and when Dana was talking to Mike Norvell to open up this game and use that phrase, intentional joy, I just love that phrase because that had been lacking with this team. They did not look like they were having fun. They did not look like there was a lot of passion and energy because things hadn't gone well for them.
Yep.
And you just need a couple of good things to happen, Wes, and then all of a sudden everything starts to explode for you, and it did on defense last week.
Lolo Haya has come in to replace Turner here for Florida State. And Roderick Daniels, who's got 22 yards on 4 carries, is in the backfield with Jennings here. And Kevin wants to throw on a little cut route. Daniels could not hang on. Took a big leg from Shaheem Brown. So it'll be 3rd down and roughly 7 here for the Mustangs.
Kevin Jennings could have took something off of that a little bit. This ball's thrown slightly behind Daniels. Daniels normally makes that catch, but nice lick by Brown upon contact.
And now Mike Norvell's going to burn timeout. Sure is.
Timeout.
So 11:26 to go.
Their
First half action here in Dallas. Noles and Mustangs both scored on their opening possession. In a step.
Procedure issues. And I know the quarterback gets more of the blame than he should get and also gets more of the credit than he should get. But last week showed some signs of life for this Florida State team. They got to carry that over here tonight on the road.
Here's Jennings now. 3rd down and 7 for the Mustangs. Florida State bringing pressure and a throw and catch to Jordan Hudson for the 1st down right in front of the SMU bench. Ventrell Cypress, the corner, there in coverage. Boy, does Hudson look good. That's his 5th catch, by the way, in the last 3.5 games. Junior from Garland, who started his career at Fort Worth for TCU.
Well, he comes up and he gets 1 yard beyond the line to gain, and the ball is stuck right on him by Kevin Jennings.
He is a good-looking wide receiver for Brett Lashley's club. Play fake. Here's Jennings again. Launched down the field and overthrows Moochie Dixon. Partisans here want a penalty flag on Quindarius Jones, the sophomore corner. And I think Moochie would like some consideration of that too.
And I think Moochie thought Kevin Jennings was going to lead him across the field and instead threw the ball up and more vertical. And there's a little contact there as Dixon slowed down to initiate the contact, which is naturally a coachable move.
Catchable?
I don't know. That would have been tough. It did not look catchable live.
McFall in the backfield, the freshman, and here's Jennings on the keeper. Look at Kevin Jennings break free for the first down. Into Florida State territory, Derek McFall, a true freshman, Tom, provided a nice block for him.
Yeah, the true freshman getting an opportunity. And again, the quarterback you see on the edge, number 20 right there, working on number 23. Really good job to allow Kevin Jennings to sneak inside. And once again, with the quarterback run, you have an extra half that you've got to account for on defense. Can really strain you. 1st and 10, Florida State's 42-yard line. Daniels will flea flicker back to Jennings and wide open, and it's caught. Jordan Hudson, touchdown. Second touchdown catch in as many games, and 3rd of the year for Jordan Hudson. Little flea flicker in the home opener of your ACC debut. Don't keep anything in the back pocket. Let's use it all. Let's find a way to beat Florida State. Really well executed.
And point after makes it 14-7. Colin Rogers handles that. And Kevin Jennings is 7 for 11 for 107 yards, and Jordan Hudson just covered the last 42.
At first, I didn't think Kevin Jennings saw him immediately because it took him a little while to get this ball out, and it's really good fake inside with the flea flicker, draws up all of the white jerseys into the box. But that took a while for that football to arrive to Jordan Hudson. And Hudson does a nice job luring the safety to sleep, thinking he's going to get stock blocked, and then bolting right by him down the middle of the field. Really well done by SMU.
The interception by McGill that opened the door, club takeaway, Tom. It's cashed in for the touchdown. And Florida State's now been outscored 44-15 in the second quarter this season.
That's been an issue for the Seminoles all year long. Have not been able to score consecutively, have not been able to get off to a fast start and dictate terms to the opposition.
And off the goal line, here comes Spann. And he will break the 20, and that's when the Mustangs will turn back. Deuce Spann. Well, we got 3 scoops of ACC football for you next Saturday right here on ACC Network and, of course, the ESPN app. Boston College, boy, what a day for Donovan Ezeraku. 2 sacks, 3 behind the line, and the come-from-behind win for Bill O'Brien's team. Virginia Tech, oh, what a finish that was last night. They'll meet Stanford, who's playing Clemson at this hour, and then Luke's, Dana and I will be back at Midtown Atlanta. Brent Key's team off a bye, Tom, and the disappointing loss at Louisville.
Yep.
Meets undefeated Duke next Saturday night. There is the quarterback coach of the Mustangs, and that's the former Miami quarterback who started his career at Houston, De'Aaron King, talking to Kevin Jennings. Here are the Noles from the 21-yard line. Toafili trying to turn the corner and thrown to the ground by Walker, and the ball popped loose, but it was recovered, it looks like, by Kyle Morlock, the tight end, on the tackle by Ahmad Walker. Here's De'Aaron King, who Brett Lashley could not say enough about yesterday in terms of his coaching prospects.
Says, I want to get into coaching. Well, I got a job for you.
Yeah. And I love Brett's philosophy. He was an analyst last year. Here's Uiagalelei on 2nd and long, throwing for Benson, who makes a terrific catch. And is it ruled a catch? SMU bench says he was out of bounds. And now the officiating crew getting some help in front of the SMU bench. It's ruled out of bounds for Malik Benson.
We're going to have to take another look at this one, Wes. Nevertheless, it was a spectacular.
Incomplete pass. Third down.
Deuce Harmon was there in coverage for the Mustangs, Tom.
It was a spectacular effort as we take a look at Malik Benson's feet here. Okay, he did not have the ball secured and complete the act of the catch rate. That ball's bobbled.
Stepped out of bounds with the left foot, right?
Yep, excellent job of getting the initial foot in bounds, but didn't secure the catch initially.
3rd and 9 for Florida State. 1 for 3 tonight are the Noles. Uiagalelei with pressure coming. In trouble, incomplete. And he had to cut it loose. Isaiah Smith was bearing down. Wachovia, the safety, was in the box. All sorts of blue shirts.
I think that's grounding as well. I think the officials may have missed a call there because they kept DJ within the pocket. When he threw the ball over the middle of the field, there was nobody there.
And Adam Savoie's got his group huddled up here. Mastromanno has come on to punt, but a flag's been dropped.
Offense number 4. Penalty is placing the ball at the spot of the foul. Loss of down. It's 4th down.
That's a good call and a really nice job by the officiating crew, not rushing to judgment, huddling up. Let's talk this thing through, make sure we get it right. You'll see DJ Uiagalelei turning around here and just dumps it. And I understand what he's trying to do, but you've got to put that ball into the spot where you've got an intentional target.
So Mastromanno, about 4 yards into the end zone, will punt it to Roderick Daniels. One step to his right, gets it away. Sidewinder toward Daniels. He juggles it, fields it, and well, what a terrific play in the punt cover unit. Florida State tracked it right down. Jeremiah Johnson or Jabril Rawls. It is Rawls who makes the play.
Yeah, the redshirt freshman out of Pensacola. What a tremendous tackle. That might have led to some leaky yards had he not made that tackle.
Yep. So 33-yard line is where SMU is going to get started after Jabril Rawls makes that play. And it looks like Daniels is going to come back out at the running back spot here. And we're looking for further information. Brashard Smith apparently has gone to the SMU locker room, Tom.
Yeah, he had gotten up holding his right shoulder on the previous series and have not seen him since.
Jennings on a quick throw. Here's Maryland turning the corner. And he'll get close to 4, maybe 5. DJ Lundy, first time we've called him a terrific linebacker from Irwin County High School in Georgia.
He's really upped his game, Wes. I did not think he looked very good the first few weeks of the season, and he's really turned it on, in particular last week versus Cal.
He was terrific a year ago, wasn't he?
Yep.
Here's Jennings, and Rule, look out there. Door got shut. Lolo Hea. Sione was right in there. Jennings had a little bit of a bobble of the rock, Tom, and next thing you knew, 13 in the white was trucking him.
That's Dana's guy.
That is Dana's guy. You enjoyed your visit with Sione, didn't you?
We had a great conversation this week. He is filled with so much joy and passion, and talking to Coach Fuller. He said, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. When I was recruiting him, I didn't know where Tonga was on the map. That's where he's from, and he's playing with a lot of heart and hustle out there.
And wide open in the middle of the field is Bailey. Another explosive play for Lashley's Mustangs as Cypress makes the stop downfield.
Get ready for some tempo right here.
39 yards there, Tom.
Yep, 39 yards, big strike, right up to the line of scrimmage.
Jennings straight ahead. Here's Daniels, and whoa, and a flag will be thrown. That's a face mask, I think, on Florida State.
Ooh, that is violent.
Jackson was there. Don't know if he was the player that did commit it. We'll find out from Adam Savoie in a moment.
Face mask. Defense number 6.
Yep.
Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
This is one of those that looks a bit dangerous. Get the player reaching out. Ooh.
Yep.
That's not playing nice in the sandbox.
You see in the visor there, there's Odell Higgins. Long time Florida State staffer. Terrific guy. Here's the handoff, and that is Daniels sneaking for a couple before Daniel Lyons makes the play.
Wes, this running back room for SMU is getting thin. As we talked about, Jalen Knighton out. Normally the number 2, and Brashard Smith in the locker room right now.
LJ Johnson out.
LJ Johnson's out as well. So now they're down to Derek McFall, a true freshman, and as we talked about, Roderick Daniels, the converted wide receiver, getting a ton of snaps tonight in the backfield.
So here's the second down play. Daniels tried to make a man miss, and whoa, took a big lick, falls forward to the 10. That was Kirkland. At 200 pounds out of Rains in Jacksonville, lowering the boom on Daniels.
Daniels playing hopscotch in the hole. What a jump cut to avoid 2 or 3 Florida State defenders in line.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The first jump cut didn't trap him. The second one, though, he bought one. Touchdown lead for SMU in their very first ACC game tonight. Here's Jennings with time. Oh, he had man left side. Now he's going to bail. Look to his right, shoot it toward the end zone. It was incomplete. He had Matthew Hibner, the tight end, Tom, looked like he leaked out into the flat, uncovered.
It was either Hibner or it might have been Jordan Hudson,
okay,
who came across in motion, and you're right, he had him flaring out, and he didn't see him, and he saw him just a bit too late. Yeah, there we go, number 8 coming in motion. Now watch him stream across, and he sees him right there, but now you've got some Florida State defenders, and a smart play by Jennings here to just throw the football away, understand the situation, make sure you come away with points.
27-yard field goal try here for Rogers, who's 11 of 13 on the year. And that got blocked. Knowles got to it. And Florida State, despite the explosive play, shuts the door here.
I think that was Shaheem Brown.
So the 27-yard field goal try is blocked by the Knowles. Still a touchdown difference here. Oh yeah, Shaheem Brown, good job, Lukes. Mike Norvell team shuts the door on SMU. Well, Mike Norvell's got one of the best special teams coaches in the country in John Papuchis.
No doubt.
That's the 11th block kick in the Norvell administration. Shaheem Brown looked like he side hurdled man and got a hand up to shut the door on Rogers, so it's still a touchdown difference as the Knowles scrimmage off their 20. Play fake. Uiagalelei wants to cut it loose and will fire it deep, and it is broken up, intended for Brown by Deuce Harmon. So Jalen Brown, they go for the home run ball. Harmon every bit the equal. Oh, and Brashard Smith now on the way back to the Mustang bench.
They need him. It looks like he's ready to roll.
Yep.
Going back to that last defensive play, what a spectacular cover play by Deuce Harmon. That corner, he's one-on-one, he's locked up.
Yep. By the way, Florida State, since the opening drive, Tom, only 6 yards of offense. Here's a quick throw. That'll change right there on the catch by Benson. First of the night from Malik Benson. On the catch in traffic. Out to beyond the 35 to the 38-yard line. Another good-looking throw from Uiagalelei.
Accurate and on time.
Yep. 18 yards there. Clock inside of 6 minutes. Toafili squeezes through the hole toward the 44-yard line. That'll make it 2nd and 4. Jared Harrison Hunt making his 26th start of his college career on the tackle. He transferred over from Miami as well.
Referenced Florida State stalling a bit on offense. You got to give credit to this SMU defense, because when you make the jump from the group of 5 to Power 5, the biggest difference you generally see is in the trenches. And so far through the first 4 weeks, SMU has been able to hold up in that area.
Inside give, Toafili again. And Lawrence Toafili running hard into SMU territory to the 44. Walker, the first guy to get there for Lashley's club.
Walker had a big week last week against TCU. 9 tackles.
Yep.
Fumble recovery, forced fumble.
So now at the 44. Remember, the Knowles can tie with a touchdown here. Uiagalelei, Borlock, the tight end, held on through the contact. to the 23 and a first down. Jalen Davis Robinson, the tackle on the big tight end, Kyle Morlock.
This time they're going to run the RPO to the tight end who's flanked out into the slot. He's not attached. And I think that was a really good job of showing patience by DJ Uiagalelei, taking the second window throw, and Morlock catching the ball in coverage.
Samuel Singleton Jr., a redshirt freshman from Fleming Island, Florida, and Charleston, South Carolina, is coming at the running back spot here, Luke's. Because a little bit like Florida State, or a little bit like SMU, Florida State's a little thin in that department too.
No doubt.
And Uiagalelei wants to keep it, and the ball popped out. Scramble for it at the 21-yard line. Noles say they have it. Kobe Wilson looked to be the guy that jarred it from DJU. But Florida State was able to get on the football.
This is clinic video of form tackling and how to create what would have been a potential turnover by Kobe Wilson. I mean, he popped that ball, led with the shoulder, was low, wrapped up. Florida State, so fortunate.
Yep. Man, oh man, looked like Cameron Robertson had it dead to rights. Noles come up with it. Here's Uiagalelei. Wants to cut it loose, and he will overthrow his intended target. Florida State dialed one up into the end zone, and it was for Thomas up trying to figure out who
See DJ Uiagalelei trying to pop his left pinky finger back into place after recovering that fumble. But that felt real good.
Landon Thomas was the guy who was the intended target. There goes Benson in motion. Now Uiagalelei to his right, clutched it, shoots it, and caught at the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for Florida State. Ja'Kai Douglas, a terrific grab in traffic.
Ja'Kai Douglas does a really nice job in the flood route concept. So he's going to work and do it basically a deep out route, and then he's going to settle right there in the hole. You see him in the middle of your screen, number 0. And some patience from Uiagalelei here to let him settle and get open and then fire a shot. That's where his arm strength, when he can corral it, really comes into play as a positive for DJ.
And Adam Savoy and his group are having a conversation here.
He's reset the game clock to 2:58. The clock was stopped for a player losing his helmet. 25 seconds on the play clock, and the clock will start on my signal.
And that's for Ja'Kai Douglas he's talking of, who lost the helmet, so he's out for a snap on his second catch. He's got 61 yards first half. Toafili has come in the ball game.
This has been an impressive drive for Florida State, who had stalled after that opening sequence. Getting in a rhythm here.
First and goal situation. Uiagalelei throwing to the end zone for Benson. Incomplete. And Moses was there in coverage with Malik Benson. Now, Ahmad Moses is listed at 5'10". And Malik Benson is 6'1". From Lansing, Kansas.
Not to mention that, Moses is not just on the shorter side, but he's used to playing on the inside at safety.
Yep.
Malik Benson is not only a height and weight mismatch, he's a speed mismatch as well.
10th play of the drive now for Florida State. Brown, the only receiver to the bottom of the screen. And Uiagalelei going to hand it to Toafili, turns the corner at the 5, and then wrestled to the turf right around the 4.5. And with 2.5 to go. Remember now, Florida State's going to get the ball start second half too.
They got to make sure they handle this situation here. We're going to have the 2-minute timeout coming up on us in just under 30 seconds, but know where you are on the field if you're DJ. Secure the football, live to play the next down.
And Uiagalelei, I'd be surprised, Tom, they can burn it off to get to the 2-minute timeout here.
And talk it over.
Yeah. Let's see if they snap it. And they will not. So there you go. So the 2-minute timeout here in Dallas.
2-minute timeout.
SMU leads Florida State 14-7. A big 3rd and goal scenario for Mike Norvell's club. All right. Thanks, Taylor. Thanks, EJ. See you in a minute. Big play for the Noles. Down a touchdown. 2 minutes to go. Mike Norvell's got 2 timeouts. Uiagalelei's got Toafili with him. 3rd and goal off the Mustang 5. And DJ U going to keep it. Got shut down. Man, Jonathan McGill have a first half. An interception, and now he went after the big fella at the legs.
You're talking 5'10", 186 pounds, walking up on 6'4", 252 pounds, and cutting down the tree.
Florida State is 7 for 11 on 4th down, Tom. And SMU has fortified their defensive line here for 4th and goal.
And since you're getting the ball coming out of the locker room, this is a worthy risk if you're Mike Norvell.
Timeout, Rhett Lashley. Tell you what.
Timeout. SMU.
Lashley, 41 years of age.
30 seconds.
Moved down the sideline pretty nice to get that timeout call. He had to go all the way down to about the 2. Boy, he has done a whale of a job here in Dallas, by the way, since taking this job. Remember, that was part of the storyline last week in the Battle of the Iron Skillet, was the return of Sonny Dykes to Ford Stadium here in Dallas. Rhett Lashley, of course, was offensive coordinator when Sonny Dykes was here. The Miami experience, though, maybe has helped a little bit this week, knowing what Florida State's about. Certainly the guys he's got on the roster, right?
Well, that, and I think it's helped him get better players on his own roster. There's quite a few University of Miami transfers on this roster here that he recruited and lured over into the transfer portal.
So out of the Florida State time, or out of the SMU timeout, Florida State goes with 2 tights to the left, 3 total in the package, and a single receiver to the top of the screen. 4th and goal for Uiagalelei. He'll keep it left side. No, sir. Jafari Harvey was the first Mustang to get to Uiagalelei and turn the Noles away.
Speaking of the University of Miami, and that is a stacked front 7 where Scott Simons, defensive coordinator for the Mustangs, sold out, stacked the box. Really good sound gap play from the interior front to the linebacking core. And Florida State fans can't believe what they're seeing on the road here in the Dallas Metroplex.
12 plays. Nothing to show for it. Now remember, they do get the ball to start second half.
They do.
The question is, does SMU in 79 seconds, and they've got 2 timeouts after the one Lashley used a moment ago, and the Mustangs start from their 2. And Daniels trying to create something, maybe a yard to the 3, not much more. And no sign of a timeout coming from the SMU bench with. Well, they did punch a timeout.
Florida State.
Florida State.
Their second.
Okay.
30 seconds.
Brashard Smith coming back into the ball game. Looks like he's healthy and ready to go.
Top of your screen. Get a look at the triple header we've got for you next Saturday on ACC Network. BC, Virginia. Boy, heck of a comeback by Bill O'Brien's team, huh? And without Thomas Castellanos.
And I was impressed with the backup for Boston College, who persevered, hung in there, and then late in the 4th quarter brought that team back. Obviously, the game last night in Miami that everybody across the country is talking about between Virginia Tech. They're hoping to rebound versus Stanford, who's having a tough time on the road at Clemson tonight.
And then Duke.
There it will be in Georgia Tech in Atlanta as Duke survives down 17-0 to North Carolina, coming back to win the football game, and Tech coming off of the bye weekend.
By the way, Dana, real quick, last time Duke was 5-0 and went to Atlanta.
Oh boy.
The Jackets quarterback was one Tom Luganbill.
None other than our favorite.
Yes, 30 years ago.
Number 16 in your program, number 1 in your hearts.
Or 2. Here's the give. And straight ahead goes Daniels. And Mike Norvell going to call another timeout. Can't say enough, though, about Manny Diaz's team and the way they battled back after falling behind early. And you wondered how Carolina would play following the JMU loss. And Carolina gave A++ effort, but Tom couldn't get stops late.
No, it couldn't get stops late. And you had to figure, I mean, Duke knew that North Carolina performance was not going to carry over into their game up there at Durham. But listen, for me, the one thing that impresses me about Duke is they just continue to play. They don't look at the scoreboard.
Right.
They don't get caught in the highs and lows of the emotions of the game, and that's why they've been such a good fourth quarter team.
You see NC State, C.J. Bailey accounted for himself nicely.
He's going to be a good player.
24-17. Dame Doran's team is 3-2. Syracuse 3-1. 42-14. The final against Holy Cross. And Louisville, some real struggles late, or early rather. They beat Louisville 31-24.
Louisville played at Notre Dame in the same fashion that Georgia Tech played at Louisville last week. Self-inflicted wounds.
That's Bailey in the orbit. They're going to hand the ball to Brashard Smith, and his first carry since coming back to the ball game. Kirkland makes the stop. Florida State's out of timeouts with a minute to go. And that'll be fourth down. And Brett Lashley can get this all the way down to roughly 20-ish seconds. Call a timeout and then maybe have one punt. That would be it.
And make sure it's max punt.
Oh, yeah.
Because right now, if you're Florida State, you're Mike Norvell, as we've talked about, you get the ball coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter. You cannot afford a kicking game snafu here.
Yep.
Timeout.
And Brett Lashley is
SMU.
going to call that timeout.
30 seconds.
So it gives us a chance to remind you that next Friday,
Please reset the game clock.
ACC PM originates from Midtown Atlanta. Mark Packer ahead of Duke and Georgia Tech on Saturday night. Starts at 4 Eastern. Come by. That parking in Midtown is easy to get. Just grab a spot. Go right across the street from North Avenue to the Alumni House.
That's right.
Just tell them Packer said you could park right there. And then you come over and visit with us on the show, right?
Just don't take Wes's spot. And I'll be riding with Wes, so that means don't take either of our spots. Home game for West Durham. Yes, it is.
Well, it is, relatively speaking. And ball got snapped over the head of Pearson. It's a safety. So the long snapper for SMU sailed it. Will Benton, the fourth, in his 45th game. And Brett Lashley is what for about something here. And Adam Savoy coming over to talk to the Mustangs head coach. Here's a look at this. So there's the snap.
I'm not sure what Coach Lashley's worried about or debating.
Hey, Wiggy, look out. Here comes a live one. Woo. Premium handheld cameraman. So whatever Brett had on his mind has not changed the landscape. So 2 points for the Noles make it a 5-point game with 22 seconds left on the snap. There's a look at young Benton, who went to Westminster in Atlanta. He's in his 45th game for SMU. Grad student.
No lonelier man in the stadium. The long snapper right now. Exactly what we talked about, getting backed up, having a kicking game issue. Rear its ugly head.
Colin Rogers just going to wedge this here to the near side, and it is caught by Keziah Holmes. And he signaled for the fair catch, and it took off. SMU fans want a flag thrown. And Adam Savoy in conversation now with his crew. Here's referee.
Holding on the field is the receiver signaled for a fair catch and completed that fair catch. The ball will be placed in his spot. First down.
So Holmes waved for the fair catch, and then Mustang fans wanted a penalty for kind of turning upfield. But as you heard our referee say, the play was completed, so therefore Florida State will have the ball at the 28 with 22 seconds and no timeouts. Kind of a balky finish here to our opening 30, Tom.
No question. You have the big 4th down stop. Your SMU on defense. Feel good with a fresh set of downs.
Timeout.
You needed 1 first
For an
down.
injury to an offensive player.
So Mike Norvell has come out because Florida State's Maurice Smith is on a knee here. So Smith is going to be tended to. Remember, Florida State's out of timeouts here with 22 seconds left. And so while they check on Maurice Smith.
See Rhett Lashley right there apologizing to the officials. I was wrong. I was wrong. You're right. Just want to let you know. Just so frustrating. You've got a team on the ropes. You get a huge 4th down stop on the goal line.
Right.
And now you're like, okay, 4 down, 3 down, we'll get a first down. We'll get out of here. We'll walk in the locker room. All the momentum's on our side.
Right.
And then you have something happen in the kicking game, knowing the opponent's getting the ball coming out of the locker room.
And meanwhile, I think Maurice Smith is okay, but hard to tell. Looks like around the jaw area, mouth area, that's where they're tending to. And I think the big fella at almost 300 pounds out of Central in Miami is going to come off the field now, Tom. As you well know, here's the center quarterback exchange alert, right?
Yes, absolutely. Curious to know with Maurice Smith, because they walked up to the line of scrimmage as if they were going to run a play, and then suddenly he stepped away, took a knee.
Jacob Rizzi, Harvard transfer from Westport, Connecticut, is the pivot for DJ Uiagalelei here. 22 seconds left. That's Benson in motion. Uiagalelei pressured as he throws, and is it picked? It is ruled out of bounds on Crossley's would-be interception here. What a play by Brandon Crossley.
Wow. Would have been his 2nd in 2 weeks. He returned one for a pick 6 last week versus TCU. Look at him elevate. He's just, his momentum in the air carries him out of bounds. Wow. Nevertheless, a spectacular display of ball skills from Crossley.
I'll tell you what, Uiagalelei took a shot from Elijah Roberts when he cut it loose. Maybe shelve the slow rollouts here at the end of the half. They're going to hand the ball, and this is Toafili. He got wrapped up and thrown back by the aforementioned Elijah Roberts. And that will be that for the first half. So SMU is going to take a 5
by Florida State. Fortunately, to be able to continue the drive, but still stalled on a 4th and 1 attempt to convert.
They're going to run it out too on the return here, and this is Spann, and he will break the plane to the 20 to the 21. And Is It In You is brought to you by Gatorade and DJ Uiagalelei. You see his details in the first half. 8 of 15, 145, a touchdown, the interception to McGill, and then recovered his own fumble. Now, Tom, he was 3 for 4, 70 yards on the first drive. After that, 5 of 11 for 75.
Yeah, and that's where that phrase consistency of performance applies to DJ Uiagalelei. You just can't have the peaks and the valleys that he's had in terms of accuracy or decision making or ball placement and be a consistent offensive football team.
Mark it at the 20, Toafili in the pistol with Uiagalelei. Lawrence will get the ball, trying to get to the left side. He'll get 5, maybe 6 before he gets flipped over. Well, I'll tell you what, Wachovia is an active guy out at the safety spot for Scott Simon's defense. Tommy wears the 23, by the way, here at SMU, which is a big honor. That was the number of the first black football player in Mustang history, Jerry Levius, years ago. And boy, Isaiah's been a terrific player from Skyline in Dallas. 2nd and a short 5. Little play fake. Uiagalelei lines up. Morlock, and it's picked. Off the deflection, Ahmad Walker's got it. And he's thrown out of bounds around the 10.
Johnny on the spot, Ahmad Walker. And this is not on the quarterback. This is a really well-thrown football to Morlock, the tight end on the little league drag. And he just loses focus, allows the ball to get into his frame a little bit. Club takeaway, shooting off the poppers on the SMU sideline.
Bottle service at the club on the interception by Walker. So just outside the 10 at the 11 here in Florida State territory. Brashard Smith with Kevin Jennings. Jennings is going to keep it. Bounces it to the right, inside the 5. He'll dive to the 1. A flag has come down on the play, back at the 6. Well, after the play, I think. And Adam Savoie.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's on the Texas transfer at right guard, Logan Parr.
Yeah, and initially Logan Parr is in a good position to maintain the block. And a really good play design that time by SMU. Rhett Lashley floats the back out of the backfield and sets up the quarterback draw. A self-inflicted wound there that takes them away from 2nd and 3 from the goal line.
Spot foul, so it's at the 16. First down and 15. Here's Jennings handing the ball to Smith, who almost came to a complete stop. Boy, and then Lundy was part of a tackle parade with Brown after a gain of about 5. So it'll be 2nd. They can still get a first down, Tom. In fact, I think had they marked the Jennings play, it would have been 1st and goal inside the 1.
There's no question. But Brashard Smith is really, really talented. He is so hard to get a clean shot on. Really patient, and when he bursts through the hole, the first guy is not likely to bring him down.
Eby has come in. 3 tight end look here now for SMU. Smith's got 50 yards on 10 carries tonight. Here's Jennings looking, corner Maryland. Caught and held on for the touchdown. RJ Maryland is in the end zone for the 2nd time this year.
One of the biggest mismatches in all of college football, and they've tried to isolate him like this. Saw this in practice on Friday. Blake Nicholson at linebacker is a complete mismatch. He has to walk out and cover RJ Maryland at 6'4", 237 with wide receiver skills, and a terrific throw that time from Kevin Jennings.
Colin Rogers now to add the point. There have been 2 turnovers tonight by Florida State, and SMU has cashed both of them in for scores. And the latest belongs to South Lake Carroll's RJ Maryland. Yep. Tip them nicely for the bottle service, because Ahmad Walker turns the pick into a touchdown for the Mustangs. If you think we've run through these first 5 weeks in a hurry, wait till you see October plays by. There's some unbelievable games setting the table for the 12-team playoff in the month of October. Here is the return, and Spann can't turn the corner because SMU went flying down the field. And that was Jaden Milner-Jones on the kick cover unit. Now all of a sudden, with the 12-point lead, Tom, Mustangs are playing loose.
Playing loose, and you can't go sideways on kickoff return. Mustangs got momentum. They got the energy in the building here.
Sure do.
First ever ACC home game.
So Milner-Jones, a terrific play. And now here's Uiagalelei off the unfortunate carom that cost him his 2nd interception of the night.
It was not his fault. It was a good, accurate throw.
Toafili in the backfield with it. That's Benson in motion. They're going to hand the ball. This is Toafili. And he'll get 3, and a flag gets thrown in from behind the defense. Isaiah Smith, the tackle for SMU. And Adam Savoie, the referee tonight.
Holding. Offense, number 18. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's first down.
Penalty is on Landon Thomas, one of the tight ends we talked about earlier. We've seen 4 for Florida State. Morlock, Brian Courtney, Jackson West have all played tonight. Landon Thomas, the 4th one. He was a target in the first half on a throw to the end zone. And so now 1st and long. 14 for the Noles. Here's Uiagalelei in the flat. Toafili the catch and up the near sideline, and he will have the first down out at the 24-yard line. Wachovia makes the stop, but somebody tried for the pick here.
Yeah, this is Alexander Kilgore. He just takes the wrong angle. If he takes the correct angle, he picks that ball off, and he's walking in the end zone instead. A big gain for Florida State.
Here's Toafili on the first down run. Couple of yards for Lawrence. Cameron Robertson stop for SMU. You know, I think when now we got an injured player and
Keandre Jones, I believe.
Yep.
Right guard.
Keandre Jones, you're right. That's exactly it. They'll come out to tend to him. We're going to step aside. 3 minutes and change gone here in the third. The SMU lead is 12 in Dallas. Well, back in Dallas. And Kevin Jennings has put a good worksheet together, and it is tonight's food line, food for thought. 10 for 15, 161, and the latest of his 2 touchdowns to RJ Maryland, Boots.
Yeah, he's applied a lot of pressure to Florida State defensively tonight. Escaping the pocket, getting out, making a throw on the move, then the flea flicker here for a touchdown to Jordan Hudson. And then the big toss just a series ago to RJ Maryland on a terrific back shoulder throw. What we talked about with this offense and why he's taken over, it allows SMU to be more dynamic, to attack every nook and cranny of the field because of his feet and his arm.
Bryson Estes has come in the ball game. He's from McDonough, Georgia, south of Atlanta. You see the details of Jennings' night. So he's going to replace Keandre Jones at that guard spot. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 for Florida State, trailing a dozen now here in Dallas in the 3rd quarter. That's Brown in the orbit. Uiagalelei wants to reroute, throw it back here to the near side. Look at Toafili. 1st down and more. There's a flag on the ground as Toafili's taken down shy of the midfield line by Wachovia. It's a 28-yard play, but hold the phone.
Holding. Offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's on Byers.
You're FSU and you're Mike Norvell. You're just throwing your hands up right now. Every time you turn around, it's a self-inflicted wound on what was a terrific play design to roll left. And quickly, DJ flips around and throws the screen back to Toafili, and that man right there cannot be happy with the self-inflicted wounds of his football team here tonight.
Yep. Kind of that fundamental baseline he counts on with his football team that he got last Saturday. It's not happening tonight.
No, been absent.
6th penalty of the night on Florida State. Singleton in the ball game. Uiagalelei to his right wants to fire and through the hands of Brown and almost into the hands of Wachovia on the backside. Ooh-wee.
Got to make that play if you're Jalen Brown. Bottom line, DJ Uiagalelei got himself out of some trouble. Settled down there, number 6, Jalen Brown. Make that catch. Do something good for your football team.
2 tonight, right?
2 tonight.
Yep. You see, as he comes to the bench area, Ron Dugans coaches the wide receivers at Florida State.
He was a good one.
Oh, boy. Tell the truth. Florida State 2 for 6 on 3rd down. Uiagalelei with blue shirts flying in his view, and it's incomplete. Tried to dial up. Amari Williams, another tight end. incomplete. So Florida State's going to punt here on 4th and 15.
Actually, another well-thrown ball by DJ Uiagalelei right there. He's throwing to a newly minted tight end that's played in the defensive front as well for Florida State. And that's a really good throw between two defenders. You've got to make a play for your quarterback tonight if you're the offensive skill players at Florida State.
Daniels waits. And he's now going to retrace his steps to the far side. Did not touch it, I don't think. But Bailey is going to trap it and be tackled at the 27-yard line. It's a 54-yard punt by Mastromano. Boy,
that was a
Roderick Daniels.
Smart play by Bailey, though, because you're not sure. Be sure. Don't allow Florida State to change momentum of the play. That is close. Again, Bailey, heady play coming in and securing the football.
So the Mustangs scrimmage from their 27-yard line. Jake Bailey is one of a handful of guys from the ACC who's on the semifinalist list for the Campbell Trophy, which essentially works out to be the academic Heisman in college football. Here's the give inside. Look at Smith break free. Coming near side, trying to elude tacklers. And almost ran out of his left shoe. Out to the 43. It's a gain of 16 and a first down.
Logan Parr, 71. Savion Byrd, 54 on the left side of your screen. Just handling Florida State at the point of attack. And I'll tell you something, Wes. This defensive front that wreaked havoc a week ago has not showed up so far in this ball game tonight versus the run or in a pass rush setting.
Changes all the way around here for Mike Norvell, and here's a first down play, and you see Smith check out to the far side. Jennings wants to cut it loose, sailing for Smith, who in traffic makes the catch and holds on. Lost his helmet along the way. And Brashard Smith with just a terrific grab of 33 yards.
And Kevin Jennings taking one right in the kitchen as he delivers this ball on the little stack and go. Really good concentration going up and attacking the ball. How about some courage right there from Kevin Jennings? Knows he's going to get drilled by Patrick Payton. Delivers a strike.
33-yard catch to go along with a 66-yard running night for Smith. And a little sweep here to the near side for Keyshawn Smith, another Miami guy. And now a flag's been thrown because Florida State was a little extra shove here. And down 12. Noles got to keep their poise. Conrad Hussey may have had a momentary lapse of judgment here.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 8. Penalty is after this is the goal. Automatic. First down.
Yep.
6 penalties now for 55 yards.
The foul was committed by number 12.
So Conrad Hussey guilty of the extra push. That'll make it first and goal. Jennings now 12 of 17. Tom, he's got a 200-yard passing night.
Well, and most importantly, he hasn't put the football in jeopardy. Value the football.
First and goal now for the Mustangs. Daniels in the backfield. And here is Roderick Daniels trying to find a spot between center and right guard. Kevin Jennings. Remember now, Preston Stone got hurt late in the regular season. Flag has come down after the play. Let's see what we have. Let's see what Adam Savoy has, and maybe something here on SMU.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 54, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty. It's second down.
So Savion Byrd here. I don't know if we get another look at this or not. There was something post-scrimmage here. I think Byrd was worried about a teammate.
There's 71. Logan Parr getting rolled up on.
And it's Lolo Hea,
Yep.
who's laying on the back of the right leg of Parr. And Bird was trying to help him off. Here's Jennings, little play fake. Now they're going to throw it on the near side. Look at Brashard Smith to catch. He'll step out of bounds at the 11. I think Kevin Jennings is cutting it loose now, Tom.
Well, you know, it's interesting because Rhett Lashley talked about trying to temper some of his riskiness, yet don't take out his instincts and playmaking ability. And tonight, you know, that difference between protecting the football and valuing the football. He wants him to do what he does best, and he's in rhythm, and he's kind of in a zone right now. He's protected the football, he's valued it, he hasn't put his offense at risk.
Yep. So 3rd down it is. And goal, by the way, coming up on 8 minutes to play here in the 3rd. And that's a little discombobulated, so that'll be 5 on SMU for procedure.
Ball start. Offense. Everyone but the snapper. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
The note I was going to pass with you on Jennings.
Yep.
Remember last year he quarterbacked SMU to the American Championship in New Orleans.
Yep.
Right. That day he was 19 of 33 for 200 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, ran for 63. His numbers tonight are better than that by a long shot.
Yeah, with a team that's got a bunch of athletes on it defensively that played lights out in a win a week ago versus Cal.
Yep. Here's Jennings, another 3rd down play. Maryland, oh my goodness, what a catch. Touchdown SMU and RJ Maryland. Giving you the full catalog here. I thought Edwin Joseph had decent coverage, Tom. Jennings threw a rope to Maryland.
That's the 2nd back shoulder throw we've seen Kevin Jennings throw tonight, and it has been fantastic. Accurate, precise, on time, in the only place his guy can catch it. Wow.
How about on a 3rd and goal play? It's a 15-yard strike to RJ Maryland. Rogers adds the point. And it's now very quickly a 19-point lead for SMU here in Dallas.
Getting RJ Maryland involved. And he's going to work right there in the slot, and then they're going to come here and he's going to push to the back shoulder there for quarterback Kevin Jennings. Takes that outside release. Now he knows this ball is going to be thrown to his back right shoulder, and a really accurate throw. I know during this series we've been talking about how good Kevin Jennings has been tonight.
Right.
He's made no errors. I mean, he hasn't taken negative plays. He has not put the ball in harm's way, and he's put the ball in a place where his playmakers can make plays.
He's now got a career-high 227 yards of passing as well, Dana.
Not to mention, he's got courage, he's got leadership, but he also was voted captain by his peers, which is impressive for a young quarterback. And Lashley told us this week 6 players got 50% of the votes from a player-led team, and Jennings is playing like a veteran quarterback out there commanding his offense.
Here's Rogers for the kick, and Spann will signal for the fair catch. The most impressive thing yesterday in our visit, Tom, was hearing Rhett Lashley talk about the captaincy and that process with his football team.
Well, he's got enough of them. He can form a basketball team.
But he's also, it felt like, and to Dana's point, Stone and Jennings being captains is one thing.
Right.
But then you look at the other guys who fall in that category. He says player-led team. And, you know, sometimes the captain thing can be said flat out, 5 guys.
Yeah.
And there you go. There's 6 total. And look at McGill had the pick. Kobe Wilson, the linebacker, one of their leading tacklers. Roberts, very highly thought of.
Absolutely.
And the 2 quarterbacks.
And neither one of the quarterbacks went into the transfer portal after spring football.
And there's another point I want you to make tonight, too, on that. Here's Uiagalelei trying to make a long throw, and that was offline. Looking for Hakeem Williams, who hadn't quite worked his way over the top. You brought this up this week in our production call. Rhett Lashley came here. They had some success in the portal, but they've kept people here, too. Now, they did have some guys leave at the end of last year to go to higher ground, if you will, that kind of thing in the world we're in.
Yeah.
But SMU's retained a ton of talent here. They've developed a ton.
They have, and all 3 of the quarterbacks on the roster are high school recruited kids that won state championships in the state of Texas. No transfer portal quarterbacks on this team, and no quarterbacks transferred out.
Here's a 2nd down play. Uiagalelei from the pocket, and that's caught going up the far side. That's Darion Williamson, and he's into SMU territory on his 3rd catch of the year. So Williamson, the 5th-year senior from Brownsville, Tennessee, playing in his 37th career game tonight. Had only one other catch. We had one catch for 10 yards against Memphis among his 2. And here's Toafili on first down off the snap at the 40, and he'll have almost 10 going into the Noles bench. And now with 7 to go in the 3rd, a little bit of urgency on the Florida State sideline.
Well, and some good things happening. They're making some plays. All of a sudden, you got a little pep in the step. There was about 3 series in a row where they just couldn't get out of their own way.
Yep. SMU taking a couple of battleships out. Bringing a couple big fellas back in.
They've got some rotational depth up front. They worked really hard in the transfer portal to attain that. 2nd and short it is at the 31. And DJ U to throw. Launching for the end zone, and Williams came to a stop on the route. That was actually closer in the secondary for Davis Robinson than it was anybody in a white jersey. Yeah, I think just a miscommunication there with Hakeem Williams and DJ Uiagalelei. Williams breaks off the route. Uiagalelei thinks he's going deep on a streak route. See him isolated versus crunch cover. He sets it down right there. DJ thinks he's going vertical.
So 3rd and 1. Florida State's got 4 tight ends in the huddle here. One would suspect they're going to run it on short. Play clock. And Mike Norvell had to call timeout. And he's not happy with his offensive unit.
No, he is not.
First.
They were running short on time.
30 seconds.
We'll step aside Dallas. SMU. Well, you can help folks affected by Hurricane Helene. You can donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover. And as we told you at the top tonight, we're thinking about all the people in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, and certainly those folks in the Big Bend of Florida. And Tallahassee was under the gun there for a while. It went east of Tallahassee, and Perry, Florida is where it went ashore. But certainly we're thinking of all those folks impacted by the hurricane. 3rd and short, and Florida State trying to lean for it.
It's going to be close.
Sure is. Closer than I think Mike Norvell wants it to be on 3rd and 1. No signal yet from Adam Savoy as they unstack at the 30.5. And they're going to call it first down. Anthony Booker Jr.
for an injury to a defensive player.
Slow to his feet. He will be attended to here with just over 6 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. And there's Mike Norvell, who turns 43 in a couple of weeks. He's back in his home area. He grew up in Irving. He went to Grace Prep in Arlington area. 32 miles from here is basically where he grew up. And when he was at Memphis, they kind of came back in this area a couple times. He said, but he told, I love the line. He said, a few more ticket requests this time than when he was coaching the Tigers. And great conversation about his youth, and of course played some college football and now has done a remarkable job at Florida State. He's got 70 wins in his 9-year career. And you see Booker being helped off here. 350-pounder from Cincinnati. Tom, you mentioned the line transfer portal work that SMU did. That was the one thing everybody talked about when the membership was announced about 11 months ago and change.
How do you hold up front?
Yep. First down. Toafili coming near side and steps through out of bounds at the 20. That'll be another Florida State first down. Cale Sanders angled him out, but Lawrence Toafili with some serious speed to the edge there.
Yeah, Jonathan McGill, number 2, misses a rare tackle here, but Toafili bouncing the play to the edge, able to turn the corner. Nice drive mountain
for an injury to a defensive
Seminole
player.
faithful, and there's a lot of them here tonight.
Yep. Oh,
in the stadium.
Sure is. 65 yards on 13 carries now for Toafili. And we've got the Wachovia being tended to right around the white on the SMU sideline. So that's going to merit the teams huddling with. Here's the details on the quarterbacks tonight. Kevin Jennings is working on a career night from a yardage standpoint. 227 and 3 scores. That's also a career high, by the way, the 3 TD passes, Lukes.
How about that right there? No turnovers.
Yeah.
We overcomplicate this game sometimes, Wes.
Yep. Look at that. Isaiah Wachovia going to the gun there on the sideline. Here's the first down give, and Toafili runs right into some blue shirts, and he'll be pushed back. Elijah Roberts was down at the bottom of that stack, and so was Kobe Wilson for SMU. Noles need points on every possession here now. Trailing by almost 3 touchdowns. Uiagalelei shoots it toward Thomas. Caught it. Touchdown Florida State. Landon Thomas. The big tight end. 4th guy in the card at that spot. A 20-yard touchdown catch from DJ U, and the Noles are on the board with 4:45 to go in the 3rd.
Impressive drive by Florida State. Finding a way to get the tight end leaking out on the rail route up the sideline, and DJ Uiagalelei throws a strike on time, accurate. Finally gets some positive momentum, some energy, and more than anything else, confidence for this Florida State offense.
8 plays, 75 yards, 1:21 the time of the drive. And Fitzgerald knocks home the point. So Florida State's cut it now to a 12-point game at 28-16. Uiagalelei's 2nd touchdown pass of the night, his 4th of the year.
So they're going to work the corner out of the equation and leak the tight end right behind him on the rail route, while the SMU defender number 22, Cale Sanders, drops to the flat. Outstanding design, caught him in the right coverage. Again, a good accurate throw for DJ Uiagalelei. Florida State right back in this thing.
Yep. So Thomas with his first catch of the year, and it's a touchdown. I like the ratio, kid.
Absolutely.
Yep. So now Rhett Lashley's team, Tom, who's kind of cruising a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Rolling in the 3rd. They had added a couple of Jennings to Maryland touchdown scores to create the separation. Now they see Florida State put a mark on the board. Be incumbent upon them to see if they can match. There'll be no return. Mustangs will scrimmage from their 25-yard line. Quick reminder to you, another busy Saturday of ACC Network football for you. Start at high noon in Charlottesville. Boston College and Virginia. Cavaliers coming off a bye week. 3:30 start out in Palo Alto. I don't know that Virginia Tech's ever been.
I don't know either.
To the suburban Menlo Park area. And then I know that Duke's been to Georgia Tech. In fact, the Blue Devils and Yellow Jackets is one of the top 5 most played series in at least Georgia Tech's football history, Tom.
Wow.
Jennings to his right, and he's going to sail that well over Smith, incomplete. Joshua Farmer, first time we have called number 5's name in terms of pressuring the quarterback tonight. He was terrific last Saturday night in the win against California, but tonight that SMU offensive lines match Florida State for the better part of the evening.
Well, they have, and they've been able to effectively run the football, which has really limited some of the pass rush opportunities on the edge, and they've handled the inside with Farmer, who as we mentioned earlier, has had a cast taken off of his hand, and when he's at full strength, he can be a handful.
That's a big cast, I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
Because 5 is a big man. Here is Smith trying to find a spot to the right, and Florida State gets him on the ground pretty quickly.
Rhett Lashley told Dana going into the locker room that he was a little bit concerned about their lack of production on 1st and 2nd down.
Yeah.
They've been clean on 3rd down, but 3rd and 9 is not what you want to major in offensive football.
So Roderick Daniels going to check in. SMU is 7 for 11 tonight on 3rd down. They were 7 of 12 all last Saturday against TCU. They've been right around 55% in their wins this year. Here's Jennings. Knowles bringing 4, and that ball got batted at the line of scrimmage on the way to Bailey. So that'll be 3 and out. And going to give it right back to Florida State. Well, SMU here with just under 4 to play in the 3rd. Omar Graham, and I think he got the hand up to deflect the ball off the hand of Kevin Jennings.
Gonna get some power up front. Going to see him with the push and pull, and then right behind him, you have the linebacker Omar Graham, who did an excellent job stepping up and spying Kevin Jennings in case there's run, and then popping up, batting down the ball.
McCoy will stand at the 30. Pearson's punt is rocketed, and McCoy off the 20 and tripped up. Wow, what a play! I think it's Keyshawn Smith. It is indeed. And there's a flag back at the 34-yard line after a 54-yard punt by Isaac Pearson.
Prior to the kick, personal foul, face mask, receiving team number 29. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, an automatic 1st down.
Wow.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
So you're going off the field with a 3 and out.
On a 4th and 9.
Yeah, right. And
Mike Norvell asking, who, what?
And what? And the looks tell you everything you need to know. Another look here.
See anything in that shot.
So what would have been a 3 and out, the 3rd possession of the half for SMU continues from the 41, Tom.
Fresh set of downs.
Yep.
Momentum going back to the blue.
Jennings hands to Smith, and he's going to get 4, almost 5 before Cam Riley makes the stop. He was the first guy. This is his 53rd game. Started his career at Auburn out of Evergreen, Alabama. Here's a quick snap out of the tempo. They're going to hand to Smith, working right side, trying to turn the corner. 1st down and more. Into Florida State territory to the 42 goes Brashard Smith. Quindarius Jones makes the tackle. I've been holding this tonight. I wanted to share this with you. Doing a little bit of the research on Brashard Smith.
Yeah.
He played 35 games at Miami before transferring to SMU. Here's another quick hitter. Look at Smith go up the middle, and another Mustang 1st down. 35 games. A year ago, Tom, you know how many carries he had for Miami? 9.
Think about the backs that are playing at Miami, and think about how good he has been here tonight.
Yep. Dana, it's an amazing stat when you think about what he's done in Dallas.
Yeah, he told me this week, he said he's playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because when he was at Miami, he never beat Florida State. So coming to SMU, relationship with Coach Lashley, this game means it just a little bit more.
He's over 100 yards on 15 carries tonight. And here's Kevin Jennings spinning through traffic. And he'll close in on a 1st down. It'll be 2nd and short at the 16.
Right now, SMU having their way with Florida State with just about everything they dial up in the run game.
Yep. And here's Roderick Daniels going to work. And he will pick up the first down. Senior from Duncanville, who coming into the ball game had 8 carries for 27 yards. He's now got 10 for 33 tonight. SMU has run the ball for 138 yards tonight, Tom. They came into the ball game averaging 206. We talked about their balance, pass to run, in terms of their total number. Here's 1st and 10 at the 12. And Jennings will keep this inside the 10 and took a huge lead. And coming down with Shaheem Brown.
And Wes, when you take a look at the totality of events over the last 2 drives, you have a touchdown drive for Florida State. They get a 3-and-out stop on a 4th and 9 and have a penalty that gives SMU fresh set of downs. And here we find SMU now, 5 plays later, in scoring position. If that doesn't define what we've seen from Florida State so far this year, I don't know what does.
Yeah. 10th play coming up here. Remember, this is a possession that was extended on a penalty after a 3-and-out. They're going to hand the ball here to the near side. This is Daniels on a stop and a start, and it'll be 1st and goal right around the 2-yard line, I believe.
And now SMU knocking on the door.
Sure are. 1st and goal at the 2. Daniels to the left side and did not get in. Turned away at the doorstep by the Noles. Darrell Jackson Jr. led the white shirts.
Another one of those big bodies on the inside. He's 330 pounds playing next to Joshua Farmer at 318.
Ball went over the white stripe, but
sure looked like it did.
Yeah, I think Daniels reached it over. But 2nd and goal it'll be. Brashard Smith has come in, and oh, wait a second.
They're going to look at this.
That the runner was short of the goal line is under further review.
Wes might be onto something up here.
Uncle Wes on top of it.
So that means that Rhett Lashley's going to bring his team over. One more check here. Oh, what great pictures our director Bob Frateroli's provided for us here. And
that's clearly a touchdown. That's in the blue. Now that's not a straight down the line angle from the pylon, but that's pretty clear, indisputable evidence.
Thumbs up around the booth here. We all think we think it'll be overturned and ruled a touchdown for Daniels, which, by the way, Roderick Daniels plugged into the run game tonight because of the injuries. Would get his first touchdown of the year.
After further review, the runner extended the ball across the goal line, which resulted in a touchdown.
So Daniels gets the touchdown, and it's now 34-16. Boy, oh boy, the penalty comes home to haunt Florida State.
And it has all night.
11 plays, 75 yards and 522, and Rogers adds the point.
It's now 8 penalties for Florida State. Led to an extended drive for SMU, which in turn led to 7 points. And talking with Rhett Lashley yesterday in our production meeting, and he had referenced how difficult it has been to score on a Florida State defense with these types of athletes in the last couple of years. And he brought up that 30-point number, and he literally shrugged and said, now, I don't know if we can do that against this bunch. Well, and here they sit with 35 on the board.
Yeah, the number was 29, right? I don't know if we can get 30. The last time Florida State allowed more than 29 was a 45-38 win against Florida in November of 2022. So it's a streak of 16 regular season games, Tom, that Rhett referred to the other night on his radio show and then with us yesterday. And tell you what, we still got 14 minutes to go and they got 35.
Well, Rhett's been around. He's been at Miami. He's been at Auburn. He's seen what these types of athletes and this type of depth looks like, particularly on that side of the ball with Florida State.
kick will not be returned by Spain. So 11 plays, 75 yards, 522 for the Daniels touchdown. And remember, that was the extended drive because of the face mask we showed you a moment ago. And SMU, whose only loss, by the way, Dana, is the game with BYU a couple weeks ago, up 19 again.
Weston Tom, it's been interesting standing close enough to Rhett Lashley to listen to him communicate with his quarterback and the in-helmet communication. He's pretty communicative, pretty honest, said, I love what we're doing, but we got to slow it down. Very passionate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can tell that. Noles from their 25 with Uiagalelei on their 4th possession of the half. Trying to check it back down the seam to Thomas, and Kobe Wilson was in his face. Got to him as he tried to cut it loose, forces the incomplete pass. Well,
Kobe Wilson looked like a bullet.
Yep. Well, there are a lot of things about what Rhett Lashley is doing here that fit the leadership of athletic director Rick Hart. And Tom, it's a win-win so far for SMU. I mean,
absolutely.
He's got 21 wins, including the 3-1 start this year, as his 3rd season is underway. Uiagalelei from the pocket wants to go back down the seam and will fire it over the head of Ja'Kai Douglas, incomplete. It's 3rd and the full 10 for Florida State.
Credit to coverage on back-to-back plays for SMU here. There's nowhere to go with the football, forcing DJ Uiagalelei to hold on to it, dump it off late.
Toafili's going to stay in the game. Williams and Thomas, the big tight end, to the bottom of your screen. 2 more Noles at the top. They have run from this set once tonight already, I think. They'll throw here, of course. Pressure coming, and well behind the intended receiver and out of bounds, and Florida State's going to go 3 and out. That is not what the Noles were hoping for following the touchdown by Daniels.
I'll tell you what, you're gonna see here, 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 and then they're gonna loop around here and create a nice little pressure package and free up that A gap between the center and the guard. Nice little wrinkle up front for SMU.
3rd 3 and out of the night for Florida State. And Mastromano drives it toward Daniels. Right around the 30, and he didn't get it, and the ball is loose, and I think Florida State recovered it in SMU territory. Daniels was trying to field it on the move, and SMU's first turnover of the night is on the verge, and it is. That's the 5th fumble of the year by the Mustangs, and it comes on a punt return by Roderick Daniels.
And Roderick Daniels has been just lights out tonight, having to fill in at running back. He's returned punts.
First down, Florida State.
Mr. Dependable, and he never quite gets completely underneath this. He's lunging forward, he's bending at the waist, and almost put his hands out like a basket.
Yep.
Too many white jerseys on top of that football, and some life for Florida State.
Justin Cryer, linebacker from Katy, Texas, falls on it. Ball at the 29 of SMU. So the Noles catch a break a minute into the 4th on the first SMU turnover, and here's Toafili trying to get through the gap at the right, and he got knocked around pretty good. Jonathan Jefferson was the first guy to get him.
And the Georgia transfer coming down the line with some heat.
Yep.
Big number 94.
Uiagalelei goes pistol here on 2nd and 9. Well, 8 rather. DJ hit as he throws and overshoots Thomas, incomplete. That was Wilson. Came launching through again, Tom.
And Kobe Wilson is doing a really nice job on little late rush, little pressure, waiting for the gap to open up, waiting for Florida State to commit to pass protection, and 24 loops around Kobe Wilson. And a one thing about this quarter so far is DJ has not thrown from a clean pocket.
Yep. Noles are 3 for 9 tonight on 3rd down. I suspect this is 2-down territory, trailing 19 in the 4th. Uiagalelei on the move again. Hit as he lets it go. Incomplete. Elijah Roberts caught him there.
Right as he lets go of the football, Elijah Roberts, another Miami transfer along this front, one of the better defensive front players in the ACC. Bam! Woo.
Yeah. So it is 4th and 9 for Florida State. After the Daniels fumble, can the Noles keep it going? Pressure coming. Intercepted. Kobe Wilson the pick. Trying to take it across midfield. Does, and still on his feet. Out of 2 tackles, and Wilson will score. Everybody gets one on the house at club takeaway after that, Luke.
Oh, man. They're going to run out of glasses.
Unofficially 82 yards
for an injury to an
for Kobe Wilson. The 2nd pick 6 in as many games for SMU. JT Ferguson is the injured Seminole, being tended to back behind the play at the 37 at SMU's end of the field. The Mustangs have just scored their 5th defensive touchdown of the year. They lead the country.
It's a winning recipe, and I'll tell you what, Scott Simon's the defensive coordinator. He has gone all out in this 2nd half, dialing up the pressure, realizing they've got a beat on DJ Uiagalelei. He's off center, and they're heating him up.
The point is good by Rogers. Uiagalelei has thrown his 3rd pick of the night. And Kobe Wilson from Snellville, Georgia. A pick 6. And it's not one of these where you dance to the end zone. He fought for it. SMU's debut in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And apparently the after party's a club takeaway.
About to be over capacity.
Yeah. They're turning folks away from the door. And fair catch called for by Keziah Holmes on the kick by Rogers. So DJ Uiagalelei has went to the medical tent and taking a look at the right little finger on the throwing hand of the 5th-year quarterback from Inland Empire, California. And because of that, we're going to see Brock Glenn, the redshirt freshman from Covington, Tennessee, in his 6th career game for Florida State here. You see the numbers from the ACC championship game in Charlotte. And Samuel Singleton is going to be the running back for Florida State off the Noles 25. And Singleton runs right in the middle of the stack, and immediately a flag is thrown in on the play. Alexander Kilgore.
They're going to get illegal hands to the face on Corey Roberson,
Personal
I believe.
foul, hands to the face. Defense number 92. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
From Houston. And transferred in from Oklahoma. So penalty on Roberson. Let's look at Corey. Mike Norvell now going to give Brock Glenn a look here with Uiagalelei's finger being tended to. And inside This is Singleton again, and boy, right there go the Mustangs. Kilgore, the linebacker.
Mike Lockhart from his defensive tackle spot.
Yep.
SMU starting to show some depth along the defensive front. We're calling a lot of names that are 2s and 3s on our depth chart for SMU. And again, that trench play, the depth, the competitive depth to go the length of the season will dictate a lot of the success that SMU will have in year 1 at the Power 4 level.
Lockhart, by the way, was at West Virginia a year ago, started his career at Georgia Tech from Birmingham. Here's Glenn back across the middle, and Thomas can't hang on the 2nd and 10 throw.
That's a pretty good throw.
Yep. Dana, we've kind of seen, at least from Florida State, maybe both ends of the emotional spectrum here tonight.
Yeah, and spending some time on the Florida State sideline, the body language certainly not conducive with intentional joy. What Mike Norvell told us earlier this week, some long faces, and it's pretty quiet on the Florida State sideline.
And not going to get any easier if this result molds where it is tonight. Because at 1-4 and 1-3 in the ACC, Clemson is next Saturday. Glenn, as he's bailing in the pocket, took a huge lift from Cameron Robertson and threw it incomplete. Now the Noles will have to punt. Huge pressure from Robertson.
Well, right now, SMU with their pressure packages and how many people they're walking up into the gaps defensively, they've got offensive line of Florida State seeing ghosts.
Wow, look at that. By the way, Florida State's going for this. You see the details on the SMU defense. 10 hits, 3 picks, and a sack. And now, did SMU call this timeout?
SMU, they're first.
It is.
Timeout on the field.
First for the Mustangs. Here in the 4th quarter in the 2nd half. Under 12 to go, 42-16. And it gives you the games that are underway and where they are.
There we go. Oh my goodness.
Where to watch on the ESPN app. And if you pull it up now, you can look at the ACC scores just like you have them right here. Manny Diaz and Duke are 5-0, by the way, for the first time in 30 years.
I feel like you just described the first car phone.
4th and 10 out of the SMU timeout for Brock Glenn. Keziah Holmes is the running back. Mustangs are going to rush 3. We got movement, I think, from Florida State. This will be the 15th combined penalty of the night.
Number 63, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Jeremiah Byers, who's relatively close to his hometown of Austin, Texas. That is now 9 penalties on the Noles tonight, Tom, and too many unforced for Mike Norvell's liking.
There's no question. And silly penalties, stupid penalties.
Yep. So now, Alex Mastromano, who is #1 in the ACC and 2nd in the country in gross average at 49.7, and he is 4th nationally in net at 46.4. Ready to punt.
Oh.
Yep, pretty good. Daniels will call for and take the fair catch at the SMU 12. Don't forget, when we're done tonight here at Ford Stadium, the ACC huddle team, a complete wrap-up of not only our ball game with special guests, they'll recap all the action. DJ Manuel, Eric McClain, Coach Rick, Eddie Roy. Interviews, highlights, analysis, and more. I like to call it Huddle After Dark.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 22. Penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. 1st down.
So there's the penalty on SMU. By the way, they had Bryson DeChambeau on the huddle set.
I know. How about that, huh?
You think McClain Aston got a set of clubs out of that?
Might have gotten 1 club.
Might have gotten. Well, I can tell you, no matter which one he got, they're all the same length with DeChambeau. Sand wedge, driver, whatever, 5-iron. Boy, they got an athletic history here. It is terrific in a lot of sports. And here's Brashard Smith working around the corner on the first down give off the 7. And so Brock Glenn, handful of plays in his first possession. Now SMU with 11 and change to go with this 42-16 lead. By the way, the Mustangs will be headed to Derby City next Saturday, Tom. Talk about Florida State and Clemson next Saturday.
Oh.
Louisville SMU will be interesting, especially given the events today at South Bend.
SMU starting to really milk this clock.
And here's the breakaway. This is Smith, well over 100 yards and looking for more out to toward the 35 before Conrad Hussey gets him on the ground. 21-yard run for Brashard Smith. And Daniels will spell him in the lineup.
Take a look at a couple of statistics here. These are what I call stats that matter. You see these 4 categories right here: third downs, yards per pass attempt, which is reflection of explosive plays, rush attempts, which is a true reflection of control of the game, and then of course turnover margin. If you win 3 of those 4, or you win 4 of those 4, you're not losing. I mean, there are studies that go back decades on those downs and those stats that have a direct correlation to winning and losing.
There goes Daniels on the first down give. He'll get 6. Add, by the way, to that, SMU has put 400 and now roughly 22 yards of offense on Florida State's defense tonight, a week after Cal put 410 up.
You know, those 4 stats referencing right there, and all the analytics that we've got into now with college football, and that's why there are so many things now that coaches pay attention to that nobody even ever talked about. So you had the middle 8 plays, right?
Yep.
Your last 4 plays of the second quarter, your first 4 of the third quarter. You have 7 points or 7 plays in terms of drive success. These are all things that have been studied now, and these teams are focusing on them like crazy.
And Daniels gets back to the line.
Hunter Daniels Jr. with the carry. He's taking
Clock continuing to move toward 9 minutes to go. So we told you the Noles waiting on Clemson for next Saturday at Bobby Bowden Field and Doug Campbell Stadium. And then, Tom, look behind that. You're going to Duke, who, by the way, undefeated.
Yep.
Then at Miami, undefeated. North Carolina at home, at Notre Dame in early November. Charleston Southern before the Gators at the end of the regular season for Mike Norvell's team. His 5th campaign in Tallahassee. Eby, the tight end, in motion. And a quick shot on the slant route is caught, and that's Moochie Dixon. And a first down throw to the Florida State 40-yard line.
Kevin Jennings taking a page out of DJ Uiagalei's book in the first quarter in the RPO game with the token backfield action. Pulls it, throws a glance, a slant route right behind Amuchi. And right now, everything SMU is dialing up has been executed really, really well. They've got a sound run game. They've got a dynamic quarterback that can move with his arm and his feet, and they haven't been behind the chains tonight offensively.
The young freshman McFall has come in the ball game now for SMU at the running back spot. And Derek's going to get the carry here to the right side. And I think he'll get back to the 40 before the whistle will blow. 5'11", 183 from Tyler, Texas. They've had a football player or 2 out of that neighborhood.
Oh, boy, have they.
4-star prospect. He had 69 yards on 16 carries in the blowout against Houston Christian. He finished his campaign a season ago, and Tyler with 1,225 yards of all-purpose work.
And he's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. He's got to get in the weight room, add some bulk and strength to aid in durability so he can stay on the field on an every down basis. But you can see the natural quickness.
So here's Jennings now, second in the full 10. And Kevin going to keep it and took a huge shot. That's Riley, the linebacker. Hit that'll make you think twice.
That's 6'5", 237, and Riley on 6', 185.
Wow.
For Kevin Jennings, and Riley almost takes the fake and does it. And had he continued, Kevin Jennings would have walked into the end zone.
Under 7 to go now for the Mustangs. I don't know that SMU could have scripted a better night.
No. I don't know, and I think even there, to some degree, surprised with the level of success they've had consistently moving the ball.
Here's Jennings, and cannot make much out of it. Marvin Jones Jr. trips him up. The defensive end for Florida State, but the clock keeps moving towards 6 to play.
Florida State defensive front. We talked about them coming into the game off of the effort they had a week ago with Patrick Payton, number 11, Marvin Jones Jr., Josh Farmer we talked about. And SMU has silenced this Florida State defensive front.
And on 4th and 11, Mustangs will go for this. Under 6 to play. And Jennings throws complete. Another catch for Hudson. But that's going to be short of the first down. The line, that play was a little awkward at the snap, Tom. And I didn't see a flag, and I think SMU thought they might have had one, but they did not. So nonetheless, turn it over on downs will Rhett Lashley's team. 42-16, under 6 to go in Dallas.
SMU ahead of Florida State, largely in part because of this man, Brashard Smith, do-it-all running back who has really taken it upon himself to carry the run game for SMU. Oh, and contribute in the passing game as well. Big catch over the top, 4 catches, 127 yards a week ago versus TCU, 129 yards on the ground so far tonight. He has been the spark for the Mustangs offense.
So SMU gave the ball back on downs. You see the details of Smith's night. Brock Glenn stays in the game. Singleton the ball carrier. And Cameron Robertson hits him. You know, we're going to work our way around to these new members in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah.
But deep in the heart of Texas, the timeout was not what I had on my playlist tonight. But I like it. Solid. Here's Glenn from the pocket, wants to launch it deep, and it is overthrown. Intended for Darion Williamson. So that'll make it 3rd down. We were talking earlier, Luke, about what this will do. Like the script for SMU tonight. You know, it was like we talked to Rhett Lashley about this yesterday. I thought it was a really interesting answer. He goes, is it an important game? Yes. But is it more important than any other game we're going to play? No. But this is the kind of game in this stadium tonight for this community and the weight they've gone through to get back to this. Here's a throw on the perimeter, and cutting upfield is Jalen Brown across the 50. Before Brown is tackled, there is a flag behind the play, though, at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be on big number 63.
Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Coach Luganville's been perfect tonight on identifying the associated player with the penalty.
Well, that one was a tackle, so we'll call holds tackles. They stand out a little bit. But I'll tell you, for this community, for this crowd that showed up tonight, for the SMU faithful.
By the way, 35,000 full house when it started.
No question.
Right.
And it just, what it does is it entices more and more fans to get back involved.
Right.
Because they see a viable product, right?
Yep. Glenn in the gun on 3rd and long. Under duress, and he will throw incomplete. Toward Toafili. No, incomplete was called. Now it's ruled incomplete. Ball rolled out of bounds back inside the 10 and the 9.
Incomplete forward pass. 4th down.
Elijah Roberts was there, so was Jafari Harvey of SMU.
One of the things, Wes, that SMU cannot allow themselves to do is start believing it. Don't start buying in all the pats on the back.
Right.
Don't start reading your press clippings. Now all of a sudden you don't take the next opponent or the opponent after that as seriously as you should, and you find yourself in a dogfight that you shouldn't be in.
Yep.
That's the challenge for Rhett Lashley and the staff, because they're a play or 2 away from being undefeated.
Sure. Here's the punt from Mastromanno, and he will float it toward Daniels, middle of the field, and a fair catch taken with right around 4:18 to play. Quick look at where we told you about Louisville next Saturday, and then at Stanford, at Duke. There's a bye in between. You see that on the 12th. They won't play. And then 3 of the last 4 at home, Pitt, BC, and Cal, with a trip to Virginia in November, Tom.
I mean,
and you're going to be 4-1 after the win tonight.
Right. So Boston College is playing well. Right. Virginia responded versus Coastal Carolina. We'll see what we get out of them. I still think Cal's a really good football team because they play defense, they create turnovers, they run the football.
And we're going to get our first look tonight at Keldrick Luster, redshirt freshman from McKinney, Texas, who flags a high snap and tries to make something happen there. And he got covered up pretty quick on the first down play. At least for tonight, a lot of folks are going to go home feeling pretty good.
Well, and they should.
Yep. This is a heck of a story. We said it at the top.
It is.
I mean, 38 years after the, or 28 years after the dissolvement of the, nearly 29 years after the Southwest Conference went away, 41 years off the death penalty issued by the NCAA, SMU returns to power conference football tonight here in the ACC, and they do so against Florida State. And here goes Luster around the corner. 30-35. Florida State, by the way, playing a regular season road game in Texas for the first time since 1976. There's the roster of leagues SMU played in behind the Southwest Conference. Few of you may have forgotten that they were in the WAC. Fewer would have remembered the Conference USA tenure.
Sure.
33 other institutions, though, Tom, in that history.
Listen, I still remember Houston beating them 95-21 after they brought the program back. And
yep.
That might have been, was that Jimmy Klingler?
David Klingler.
David Klingler, that's
yep.
it.
Luster going to trap the high snap again. Yeah, that was David Klingler. Forrest Gray was coaching SMU.
That's right.
Yeah. And a guy who might be watching this game tonight was a defensive coach for Forrest Gregg, who was a longtime ACC coach at several stops in the league. John Tenuta.
John Tenuta, that's right.
Was on that Forrest Gregg staff.
7-man pressure.
Oh, yeah. All night.
All night long.
All night.
Sound or unsound,
yeah.
They're coming.
Yeah, they were. I told you Florida State's first road game in Texas. They played obviously some bowl games here, kickoff games, the like. Here's a run play for McFall. And this young kid gets almost all of it back on second down. It's going to be 3rd and short for Derek McFall and SMU after that fine run.
He looks an awful like Brashard Smith.
Yeah.
He's just a true freshman version of him.
Yeah. By the way, the last time Florida State played in Texas, it was in Denton. They beat North Texas 21-20. As we go to break, do you know who the coach of the Mean Green was that night, Luke's?
No. Lay it on me.
Hayden Fry.
Oh!
Back to Dallas in a moment. And there's your menu for next Saturday on ACC Network. Triple header action at high noon follows the ACC huddle from Atlanta. And we'll be at Bobby Dodd for Duke and Georgia Tech. There's McFall trying to turn the corner. He gets run down defensively by Riley, but inbounds, and the clock will continue to move here. Pretty interesting week. Miami goes to Cal next Saturday night. That'll be on the ESPN family of networks. That'll be late, by the way. ACC after dark.
Oh boy.
At Memorial Stadium in Berkeley next Saturday night.
Miami at Cal.
What do you think about that, Coach?
Oh, it's a classic ACC showdown.
It is in this world.
You got that right.
Oh.
Regions mean nothing any longer.
Pistol set here for, and they're going to hand it on the reverse and around the corner. And up the sideline goes Carter Campbell, by the way.
Oh.
And we'll see. Campbell got the first down. He did indeed.
Absolutely.
They're going to measure it to the 48 and the first down, and that'll be it. A couple touches of the knee. Good for you, Carter Campbell. Campbell is from San Antonio, grad student for Rhett Lashley. And how about Jake Bailey right there to greet him? Kind of all you really need to know about this team, Tom. Right?
I'll tell you what. Outside of the botched snap in the punting game.
Yep.
This has been 2 straight weeks of outstanding football in all phases of this SMU program.
I agree with you. I mean, you put 66 on TCU last week with 3 defensive scores. Non-offensive, they had a return.
Yep.
Tonight they get a pick 6. They get 3 interceptions from Uiagalelei. The other 2 they cashed in for scores too, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and this team's going to go to October with some real momentum at 4-1. By the way, their only loss is to what probably is going to be a top 15 team next week.
No
BYU.
question. BYU's tough now.
Yeah. And here's the touch of the knee, and that will do it. SMU's going to finish with right at about 460 yards, Tom, of offense tonight.
Not many folks are doing that against this Florida State defense.
And they have now scored a victory here tonight that is their 11th win in their last 12 home games. And in their last 12 home games, they have averaged right around 51 points a game.